Okay, fall time at the Rampart Rapids. But right now, this wheel here, I am breaking apart. I've got it into shore. It's right up against the shore. I've popped the lead on it and brought the spar alongside, and it's up against the shore now, and I'm just preparing it to move downriver, and we'll pull it out by a winch I have down there. So, and right now I have a live box. This is what holds the fish during the summer, and I'm winching it up out of its slot in the wheel there. There's a little couple of outriggers, and when the fish are caught, they're dumped into that live box, which is submerged underwater and keeps them alive until I get here. It just keeps them real fresh. So I've got that thing winched up in the air, and I'm going to continue moving it back onto the raft there. So we'll just do that, and then we'll move this, hook up the boat to the back of the wheel, and move it on downriver. Yeah. Let's see, we'll let off this. Come along here. This thing's really heavy. It's completely waterlogged, plywood and lumber from sitting underwater all winter. I mean, all summer. Whew. Okay. And now it's starting to rain. Wonderful. Okay. Okay, get it straightened out. Yeah. Okay, that's the lead and the live box all done now. So now we're ready to put the boat on the back and push it down to this fish camp right across the river from me, where I got a lot of cables and rope all ready to pull right up to it and latch onto it with that gear, and maybe we'll have this half out of the water today, or maybe a little more, and then I'll let the wheel dry down low for a few days if the weather cooperates, and that'll remove hundreds of pounds of water off this thing and make it easier to pull. And regardless, it'll get pulled anyway. So now we're going to take 2 chains, one chain around the tip of those logs and one chain around the tip of those, and that's going to be what pulls the wood I hook on to, and what the winch will pull on when it pulls this wheel up. And you want to put the chains on here before I bring it down to the beach, because when I bring it down to the beach down there, I'm going to ram the tips up on shore, and then there's no way to get these chains underneath the tips then. So right now the tips are real easy to get the chain under, so. There's so many little things you got to do to get ready to pull a wheel. It's but I'm getting close right now. Yeah, it's just all preparation and trying to make things easier for you. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll hook up to the back here, and this main cable that's running up to shore that's been holding the wheel in place all summer. I'll hook up to the back, have two ropes coming to the sides of the boat so I can steer. I'll have control with those ropes on it, and I'll put the power to it, push the wheel forward like a couple of feet, and that'll loosen up that cable, and then I'll just undo that cable, throw it up on shore, and I'll get that later and put it on the bushes before you know, I leave here for good this fall. And then yeah, just power forward a little bit, and then back out into the current. Get the wheel facing downriver and head downriver. And about the only thing that can go wrong is me at that point. That's usually the only thing that can go wrong with things all summer long is me. That's why things go wrong so much. Okay. Okay, I have the ropes on the boat, the bows tied up to the back of the wheel, and now I'm going to push the wheel forward just a little bit, take some slack off of that big cable, undo the cable, and then we're free to go. Well, just leave the engine running, and that's the other thing that can go wrong with this whole operation is the motor. This is one time I'm not the only weakling. Anyway, the motor can, if the motor quits, there's nobody in between. I got a friend downriver about 3 miles, two friends, two fishermen down there, but I know they're up in the hills today cutting some trail. So I don't think if I had to drift by their camp, they wouldn't be able to help me. And I don't think there's anybody else on the river except maybe somebody traveling. There's nobody else like at a fish camp or something that I could yell to or shoot a gun to or to get their attention to help me. And there's no paddling this thing into shore. So okay, so we'll. Okay, and cable's loose. Now the other thing I got to watch for is I'm filming at the same time I'm doing this. So I'm real. This is when I always screw up. So you just got to be careful here. That's all. for next year. Okay. This used to be a real pain in the neck in the old days. Every time I do this, I just think of like the motors nowadays. First place, in the old days, everybody had junk motors, but they never idled good. You know, it's just not like the motors nowadays. These things are actually like having another person around. They run so smooth and good sometimes. Okay, the only thing holding the wheel now is the boat. Okay, I think we're ready to head downriver. Okay, and here we go, downriver. Good, let me straighten this out a little bit here. Yeah, these things are really easy to steer from the back like this. I only have a 50 horse motor on here, but that is enough power if I wanted to. I could push this up from Tanana. There's another fella that fishes a fish wheel up here, and he pushes his wheel up every year. It's as big as this one, and he pushes it up every year with his 50 horse too. So you right now I'm just idling along. There's no sense pushing anything. You don't want to stress anything. You don't want anything to go wrong. Just get it to shore down there. But when they push the wheels, like if I was going upriver with the wheel here, I'd have a different prop on. I'd have a power prop on, a barging prop. It grabs less water per revolution, and and you can actually you don't overwork the motor. Even pushing something like this with a prop, like with the right prop, you can you can push something at a half a mile an hour, a huge load, and it won't hurt the motor. Yeah, so we're just moseying along here, and everything's going good. Like I say, as long as this thing and the getting this thing put away and getting my fish grip to town, like I said, about 4 days I'll be fishing for 1,400 salmon, and I'll probably get that in a day or two. The run, it's a big run this year, so there's no reason I probably couldn't get it in one day. And right now, basically nobody's fishing. Every few days we run the wheel and get a dog pot full of fish. Most of these fish are just going to head to the spawning grounds. Well, yeah, like 99% of them are going to head to the spawning grounds and spawn. And all the dog team use from here on upriver. It just takes a tiny fraction of the fish, but it's a lot of fish to us. It's 1,400 fish. It's an entire winter's dog food, and that's what keeps it alive, because if I didn't ever get these fish, I'd have to give away all my dogs, and I couldn't have dogs that winter. It would bust the household trying to ship in dog food for a dog team if you didn't get your fish. So right now we're going to get this thing put away. Usually I don't put this away so early, but me and the other fishermen figured, what the hell, just get it put away, and we'll just fish his wheel, and I can help him with his wheel, and he's going to float his wheel to town, so he's got more time. It's not as pressing a matter for him to get his wheel out of water, but I have to get my wheel out of water in order for me to go home, and it's getting that time of year. It's the 4th now, and 4th of September, and I'd like to be out of here by like the 20th or something like that. 20th, 25th at most. Everybody's saying it's going to be an early fall. There's hardly any heat in the ground. It's been really cold summer, unusually cold summer, and there's hardly any heat, so at night it gets right down there in the temperature. So if ice could come early. Anyway, we're coming up, so I got to watch it and stop talking. So I'm just going to, because this maneuver here is something I don't want to get wrong. Once I beach this up on the beach, I don't want to have to be moving it back in the river because I didn't beach it right. Okay, here we go. We're coming up on a camp on the left there. You can see the smokehouse, and then you can see my camp over there too on the right. Okay, so there's a little branch I got on shore there, right where I want to put the right tips of this wheel, and it's kind of high. I can't really see the tips, and it's hard to judge it, but I can get out and check it. I decided I'm not going to ram it this year. I'm going to, yeah, I think we'll just ease it on in and take a look at it. Like I just hit bottom there, so I'm going to go look at it here. And all right, that's got to come. I got to go back a little bit. Yep. Yeah, I'll go back just a little bit. Okay, we'll check that out. Good enough. Good enough. Yep, now I'm going to power it forward, turn it at an angle, leave the motor running, hook up the left side to some cables, and then pull that around and get it faced up that way. Okay, hook it up, pull it in, then I can shut the motor off. be pretty low-key. But right now we want to get this snug up against the shore, because pretty much right now I feel pretty good. Nothing really much is going to happen. I could probably take that boat off right now, but I think we'll wait until we get that thing up on shore. Actually, I think I'll get a roller right now. Okay. Alright, I'm going to go shut the boat off, and then we'll get that roller under there. Alright, I think I'm gonna... Alright. Anyway, everything's... At this point, everything is pretty casual. Yeah, from here on. It'd be nice to get it up a little bit because, you know, wind or something. You don't want to do this on a really windy day. And wind could screw me up, but I've seen a upriver wind push this against the current upriver. But like right now on a calm day like this, everything's pretty casual. From now on, it's just going to be a bunch of work, all these big rollers. These little ones, I'm trying to get the little ones under first, and then I got these really big ones that will go on to, and it'll just roll itself up as I'm winching it. But it'd be nice before I pull it too much out of the water here to get at least get a roller under this side, because this side I can get one. So I'm going to back off on that come along and let the wheel go back a little bit. And when I get that log under there, then I'll pull it up on it. Okay, I'm going to shut the camera off, but basically, see, this is why on TV shows they don't show how we do things. You know, all this would have, this and the wheel would have been put to bed for the entire winter, and I would have shot 3 moose and driven thousands of miles with my dogs in this length of time on TV. But this is just real tedious work. I'm going to get a real tiny roller and get it on top of a tiny one, then get another real one a little bit bigger and get this side up on that, and then I'll be able to use that one, and then I'll be able to use some of my real big ones. So probably once I get pulling this thing, get it out of water a little bit and get it up on rollers, then it's about a, maybe 4-hour pull. The winch will take about 4 hours to pull it. It's a pretty steady pull, and it just pulls it fraction of an inch at a time. It's just really slow, really powerful though. And that's good because you want lots of time to be adjusting rollers and everything as it's moving, and it's a good winch to pull a wheel by myself. I may not end up pulling this wheel by myself. I got my son Joe is getting back from hunting, and he should be up here maybe if he can. You know, he's got a house he's got to take care of too, and a whole bunch of things he's got to take care of. And I got another buddy at the fish camp right next to me. He's coming up here in a few days, so I may have help pulling it, but it's just real tedious, slow work, and yeah, all total it might, God, it'll be a 8-hour day or more before this thing's put to bed up there. And yeah, so I'm going to shut the camera off. Okay, here we go. I'm going to try pulling it just a little bit here. See if she'll, I got it up on one roller on the right there, and can't get one under the other side, but got a couple ready to go on if it lifts a little. So, we'll go give her a pull. So, hi, so the name of the game here is stop and go. When people are helping me, I'll tell them I'm going to stop 30, 50 times before the wheels all pulled out. And that's and the reason for that is because if you don't, you're going to do stupid things. Like I didn't know the camera was this close to the wheel. It's 2 feet away. I'm almost coming off of that roller, and if I lose that roller, then I'm back down on the ground here. That side's about ready to come off the rollers too, and I'm about ready to roll over my winch over there. So you just keep stopping. I can't see good from up where I got a little winch, and I got a great big one behind, but right now I'm pulling with this little one, and I can't see from there, and I really can't see with the big one going, but the big one is so slow. Once I get this lined up and everything, I can turn that big one on and just kind of walk with the wheel, and I can kind of steer the wheel with a sledgehammer, and you know, where the way I have the rollers underneath it and stuff like that. Anyway, it's yeah, we're good. I'm gonna pull it out a little more. Maybe we'll take a shot of it when I get it out. Well, it'd be nice to get it out of the water, then it could dry. But like I say, I gotta be careful with these rollers. So. Okay. It looks good. Wild onions all over the beach. Anyway, it looks good. I think this is going to be it. I should be able to get it out of water and then quit for the night, and that'll be it. Okay, all right, so the winch wouldn't pull it anymore. It's the wheel's completely out of water now, and that little winch will pull the wheel completely up the bank, but with take about 4 blocks, you know, like pulley blocks, multiplying power, and that sort of thing, you know. So, and it's a lot of work moving all that cable and blocks, and so that's why I have this big winch. But I'm going to, the thing I can do here is I can run out more cable, take more cable off of the spool that's on the winch, and thereby decrease the diameter of the spool, so the take-up will be you know, for every revolution, the take-up will be less on the cable, and so it'll be in effect multiplying my power just by getting the cable off the spool. So I'm going to do that because, like as my father said, the day ain't done till the job's done. And right now, the wheel is about 2 inches in the water on this side, and I don't know, maybe it's a foot in the water on that side. So that would be unacceptable to my father. So, yeah. So you can. I won't sleep good at night if the things touching the water like that. So we're going to get it completely out of the water here. Okay, so that's it for getting it out of the water. It's out of the water. Now it can dry a little. It probably loses 100 pounds a day. Of course, the thing probably weighs 12,000 pounds, but whatever. So I got to put ropes on it. I got to brace it up because when we go over the hill, the thing's going to do a lot of that kind of thing, and got to brace it up so because sometimes the uprights, the big uprights there, will spread, and you can drop your whole baskets, and that would be a nightmare. And but yeah, I'll brace it up and just get ready for the pull. That's where we'll be putting it, up on top there. All right, well, that's it. Rapids is losing its sunlight right now. It's going behind the hill, and there's camp right across there. I can hear the dogs barking, and they want their food. And that's Downriver. Downriver there. It'll still be sunny down there for a little bit, but we lose the light in the canyon here pretty fast in the evening. Okay. Yeah. Well, we'll see you now. Bye-bye.